Hello everyone, boys and girls, Amaranixes, dear Iggy's. This video is specially dedicated to you. This is Maza, the thejrocker, or only Maza, in either way you want to call me, it's okay. So this is gonna be my meet and greet experience with the thejrock band Iggy. And I went to see them yesterday. Yesterday was Monday, and I'm just gonna tell you that my English is very poor and I don't remember the days of the week in English anymore. I can only say them in Japanese. So today it is Kayobi. Kyo wa Kayobi desu. So I'm gonna do this experience video now because when I came home yesterday I was super tired and I was in school before the event, and today I was in school as well. I have never attended an instore event during a week before, after the school, so this was like it was not a bad idea, but my body was very extremely tired and I didn't sleep many hours during this night either, so I was terribly tired in school and I almost fell asleep during the lesson. So if I'm gonna do this again I need to consider a few things, but that's not what I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about the in-store event at Like an Edition, Osaka, Japan with Iggy. So let's go. So I came there after school. I hope I'm not screaming. If I do, I apologize. I came there after school finished, and I came there like 2 hours before the in-store event was supposed to start. It's better to be on time than being late. And my only dinner was milk tea with milk. That was my dinner, because I am very nervous when I'm gonna meet my idols. I get nervous and I have a terrible problem with eating. I try to eat, but I can't do much about it. Sometimes I eat, sometimes I don't. It depends on. So I'm just gonna tell you something, that here in Japan there are no benches anywhere. I mean, finding a bench where you can sit on the street or in the city, it's impossible. So I'm just gonna tell you that that's something that I don't like with Japan, because there are no benches. Pretty much no benches, very few. But I could have walked inside and waited there. I realized that too late. But I was waiting, and then I went up. It was like a few stairs up. It takes the elevator when it's a few steps. So I came up. I was waiting outside the store for a while, and then it was a door next to me where I was standing and waiting. And I heard someone laugh, and I was like, "That must be Iggy." And I was right, because it was Iggy. I recognized their voices, so I was like, "Oh my god, they're sitting in the next room with the door shut." And I was like, "Oh my god, remain calm." Then two people who were a staff member, or if they were working in the shop, I'm not really sure, came out, a boy and a girl, and they were like, insta event desu ka, you're gonna attend the insta event. I was like, yes, hi, mo daijoubu desu, you can go in. And I was like, daijoubu desu ka, and they were like, yeah, daijoubu desu, you can go in. So I went inside, and they were like trying to set everything up. They had like huge, I don't remember the English word either. You put something like huge up with a lot of thejrockers on, advertising kind of things, very big, so that it will, for those who came to the in-store event, the people who didn't have tickets, who were at the store at that time, should not be able to see the in-store event. If you kind of understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, then I'm sorry. I have a little bit problem to explain this. And I was waiting, then a few other girls came in. I mean, this was not many fans. I expected more fans, but it was not many fans. It was like 10 fans or something, not more. I can't calculate it out. It was like 10 fans or something. So a few other fans came. I was the only 4Gym fan. This time I knew I was the only 4Gym fan because it was so small amount of fans. But the Japanese girls were very friendly to me, and it was the first time like this happened, because I haven't really, talked or interacted with other people before during an in-store event or concert or anything. They were very nice because it was so few of us, so it was very easy. And I'm just gonna check my camera out, because my camera has a very problem to actually shut itself off from time to time. So that's why I'm gonna check it from time to time. And then let's see what happened. I have actually written some of it down because I don't remember everything, and I actually wrote it in Swedish as well, so I need to translate this into English in my head. And then they were like, you can now walk in. I was the second person on my ticket, but the first person who had the first ticket didn't show up, so I got the chance to get in first. I had the same spot as I had during the Diallo in-store event for a few weeks ago. Like if this was like if we do like this in this way, this is where they sat or were sitting, and I was sitting here, the band was here, and I was sitting here in the front row, and there was the second row. There was no more rows, there was only 2 rows. So I was like, oh, this is a good spot, but we were very far from the band. I mean, this was very far, like 2 meters, not maybe 2 meters, but it was a bit too far away from, it wasn't that far when I met Diallo. So I was like, oh my god, this is a bit too far away. But yeah, that was, we couldn't do much about it at that moment, I just can tell you. Let's see. Then we had to fill in something like a questionnaire thing that where you could ask questions, but I got it messed up in my head. I'm used to this, but I had no questions in my head, so I wrote something totally different, which was not a question, but they accepted it in either way, and I actually got a chance to use my Japanese without having my books. I had my books with me since it was after school, but I chose not to look in my books. This video is gonna be too long, and if it's too long, then I'm sorry. I'm gonna divide it up in different parts, because I can already tell it's gonna be too long video, so bear with me, guys, okay? Then another guy came who had piercings and everything. He was working for either Iggy or for the store, and 2 other girls came as well. The guy with the piercing, I call him the guy with the piercing because he had the piercing here. He was explaining all the rules for us, and then they were supposed to come out and everything. All the fans were like, these fans were a little bit better, and they were like, yeah, and I was like, woo, and then I could do that for once. I was like, yay, finally I can do that, even though I'm a Fortune fan, I can do something like that. So we did it once, and they didn't came out, and we're like, well, we did it again. They didn't came out, and I was like, what's going on? And then the guy with the piercing was like, sorry, I have some problems to get the music working. And we were like, oh, okay. But then he managed to get the music to actually work, and oh, sorry about that, I'm trying to put my mirror down. And everyone was like, woo, 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 and then they came out, and everyone started to laugh. The guy with the piercing laughed, I laughed, the fans were laughing, the fans were almost dying in that room, and the band themselves were laughing their asses off. The reason why, because this in-store event was a special, every in-store event has a special theme, and today's theme on this place, like in addition, in Osaka, was makeup, and all of the members from Iggy had dressed up as ex-Japan members, and that was very cool, very rad, by the way. And they came out one after one, and everyone was laughing, and the last person to enter the room was Loa, drummer Loa, and he was dressed as Yoshiki, and he, when Yoshiki was hurt, he had this thing around his neck, and he had no shirt, so Loa came out looking like that, and everyone was basically dying, and I was dying as well with the other fans. But he didn't came out first. Vocalist Suma came out first. He was dressed as Toshi. Then Lyuka, guitarist Lyuka, came out. He was dressed as Pata. And then second guitarist Joe came out dressed as Hide. And then the bassist Alan came out dressed as Taiji, rest in peace Taiji, and Loa came out as Yoshiki. And I was like, yeah, I recognized everyone straight away because they had the same position as they had, in X-Japan. And my camera is done with this memory. I just can tell you that when I do these experience videos, my camera runs out of memory very fast, so I need to switch from my other memory card because I have 3 cards with this camera. They're not very big, that's why I had to change. I need to change now, so at least I've come some part of this. So I'm gonna continue talking about the whole in-store event talk show part when I switched memory card, okay guys, so I'll get back to you. I'm gonna cut right here. Maza will be back. So Maza is back again, and I only have like 4 minutes on this memory card, so I'm gonna change after a while again. So after they came in, this was the order they were sitting. I'm sorry, I had a hard problem to explain this, but if this is me and this is the band, we had Loa here, Alan, Joe was in the middle, Lyuka, and then Suma. They came in, they presented themselves as vocalist Soma, guitarist Lyka, guitarist Joe, bassist Alan, and drummer Loa. And they presented themselves as the members of X Japan, as they were dressed up as well. And then the guy with the piercing was talking, and everyone was laughing. I mean, we laughed for a few minutes after they arrived to the table. I mean, we couldn't stop laughing. I had tears in my eyes. We were laughing so bad, and the band was laughing, and the staff were laughing, and everyone in the store was laughing their asses off, and no one could really stop. It was fun because this band was very, very cheerful. You know, they were very happy and very smiling and laughing a lot, and you know that makes a good impression. Sure does. I love this band so much. And then they were talking about the gigs they're gonna have. They had a gig today here in Osaka, which I couldn't attend because I didn't know. I did know about it, but I hadn't really had time to attend more stuffs right now. I'm gonna do it later this month, but right now I need to kind of rest because I have a lot of things in school to do. You know, as well, test and everything. And they were talking about the new mini album that they have just released, Origin. And they were talking a little about X Japan and everything, and then they were going to read up the questions that we have asked. Loa was the boss. He was dealing with all the questions. There was many questions, and it was quite hard for me to understand everything, but I did my best to try to understand. And a fun thing that happened in between, they were oh, the fans are sitting too far away from us, can they move, you know, a bit forward? And I was yay, finally they said something about that, yay. And they asked the staff if it was okay if we could move our chairs or, you know, the thing we were sitting on a bit forward, closer to them, and the staff was we'll do that, and we were do, and they were oh, this is better. I was yay, I finally have a little bit of a close-up. Yeah, I'm not gonna say no to that. So Loa was reading up, and one question, I didn't catch all questions because I was so happy that I actually saw them live, saw them like that, so close, and I didn't really remember all questions, but I remember some, or one or something. I remember my own, of course. And one question was they were gonna sing to each other. So one started on one song, and then they nominated a member who's gonna continue in the song and then go around. But they messed up all the time, so we laughed again. And actually, they did Jankenpon, you know, Jankenpon, do, and Joey, I said Joey, Joey's my friend. Joey, it's hard to keep these ones from each other because their names are so similar to each other. I mean Joe. So Joe had the chance to start, and he was no, and I was yay. So he started singing, and he pushed the singing or over to Lyka. Lyka pushed it over to Soma. Soma pushed it over to Alan, I think it was Alan, or Loa, I'm not sure. In either one of them, you know, was it, and they messed up. And that's when that finished off. And I'm just gonna tell the guys that my camera has run out of memory again, so I'm gonna switch to my third memory card, and then I need to put this over to my computer. This is hard to do this because this is always my main problem when I try to talk about these thejrocker instore events. But I'm gonna cut again, and I'm gonna continue on these questions. Okay.